Hey, it's Aviva Goldfarb, and I am going to show you how to make perfectly crispy browned tofu in the skillet, not deep frying it, just lightly pan frying it, which you can either use to dip in a delicious Korean dipping sauce like this one, or you can use it in all your favorite stir fries and recipes for extra protein and instead of meat. A lot of people are freaked out by the humble bean curd called tofu. I have no idea why. It's actually a really innocuous food that is really flexible to be used in recipes. And some of us don't like to cook with meat all the time, especially since I have a vegetarian daughter, Celia. It's really inexpensive. It's super healthy. It's high in protein. It's high in iron, calcium. It even has omega-3s, so it's really good for you. It's cruelty-free, of course, because it's made from soybeans. And it is so easy to prepare, but I think a lot of people don't know how to prepare it so it really has good texture, and that's what I'm going to show you today. So one thing to make sure of is always buy extra firm tofu that's packed in water. Don't get the kind usually that's refrigerated. So that's the kind that's going to cook up best and have the best texture. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to drain your tofu very well, and then we're going to dice it up into little cubes, and then this is the key. We are going to wrap those cubes in a clean, absorbent cloth, like a dishcloth, or even if you have an old, never used for this purpose diaper like I do, that's very absorbent and that works really well. And if you have all day, you want to leave it like that all day. If you just have 10 minutes will do too. So the longer you can leave it like that, the more water is going to be absorbed, the easier it is going to be to brown your tofu perfectly. I recommend using a large non-stick skillet, and non-stick is really important. You can also use a wok, but that way, of course, the tofu will not stick to the skillet. And you're going to use enough oil, usually a couple tablespoons, to coat the bottom of the skillet, and you want to heat it up to medium high heat. So you're really going to be able to brown that tofu nicely. Before you add the tofu, make sure that the oil is nice and hot, because that's how you're going to get it nice and browned. And then once you add your tofu to the oil, patience is key. Don't toss too often. You want to be nearby, but you can let it sit and sizzle for a little while. And the longer you let it go and really brown on all sides, the better the texture and color is going to be. And what you're going to do is cook it on each side until it's nicely browned, and then turn it. And this is going to take a little time. It's going to take 15-20 minutes overall. In my family, we call it BTE, because every time I make tofu like this, my husband says it's the best tofu ever, and I remind him that I make it that way every time. So this is BTE. I'm going to share the secret with you. Now, tofu itself is a very mild flavor. It doesn't have a lot of flavor. So the key is going to be what you do with it, whether you dip it in a flavorful sauce, or you take it out and you make a stir fry and add it back in, or you toss it in a salad with a good dressing. It's a vehicle for whatever you're going to do with your meals. Our golden tofu is nice and crispy. And I have a Korean dipping sauce that my friend Hyun, who is Korean American, told me how to make. Really simple. I'm going to put the recipe for the dipping sauce on the blog, but you can see it's soy sauce, rice vinegar, a little mirin, sesame oil, and then you can add some sesame seeds, and you can thinly slice the green parts of a scallion, and you have a really nice sauce. But of course, you can use the tofu other way. So let's see how it came out. Whoops, and I dunked my tofu in the sauce. Now we're really going to see how it came out. It's crispy. It's got great texture. So now it tastes like something that you're really going to want to eat. And it's fun just to dip it like this or toss it in your favorite meal instead of chicken. If you like this recipe and video, do me a favor and give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below, share it, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And remember, I'm gonna fling this tofu at you. You are never too busy to eat well. Hi, it is Aviva Goldfarb, and I am so excited to show you this recipe because I know how much you guys love your slow cookers, and I love mine too. Because what's not to love? We can throw everything in the morning of or the afternoon of and come home and the whole house smells amazing and dinner is done. So I'm going to show you how to make a slow cooker whole chicken noodle soup.